Hey guys, what's going on? It's Rakyan. Today we're going to be going over 5 skills that can make you bank on RuneScape. Starting right off with it is woodcutting. Woodcutting is obviously not the most lucrative skill in the game, but it can net you some serious cash in the long run. The best part about woodcutting is that it's free to play, and you can make a fair amount of gold off of it right at level 1. That being said, you obviously won't make a ton of gold off of it, but you will make a fair amount. However, at level 60, even on free-to-play worlds, you can start chopping yew logs, and I myself have actually made enough to pay for a bond with just chopping yew trees. Although the real money from woodcutting is from magic logs, which are at level 75. It is not recommended to start chopping magics right at 75, but that is your choice. If you were to chop magics right at 75 up till 99, you'd net yourself about 50 mil. The great thing about woodcutting is how AFK it is. You literally almost don't have to pay any attention to it at all. So a couple of tips for woodcutting is, the lumberjack outfit will give you a 2% experience bonus. I'll leave a link in the description on how exactly to get that. It's arguably not worth it. I've heard some people say that it is worth it and some people say that it's not, but it's definitely a cool fashion scape while you're woodcutting. I mean, who doesn't want to be a lumberjack while they're woodcutting, right? Next up is bird's nests. Bird's nests will slightly increase your profit, so make sure you have your volume turned up because you can actually hear them, and they can drop anything from clue scrolls, which obviously are going to be very, very valuable towards you, and bird's eggs, which give you free prayer experience, which is kind of a nice bonus while you're woodcutting, and probably the most beneficial for your bank account are seeds. Seeds will sell for quite a bit, and they'll net you quite the profit, so make sure you're picking up your bird's nests. So the last thing I want to go over in regards to woodcutting is canoes. Canoes are kind of a benefit that you get from woodcutting, and they'll help you travel around the game a lot easier. Basically, the higher level that you get, the more access to different types of canoes you can get, the farther you can go. And basically on like rivers and whatnot, you'll find trees, a dead tree that you can chop down and you can turn it into a canoe. And in this video here, I'm going straight from Lumbridge to the Grand Exchange pretty much in a matter of seconds. I mean, it's very beneficial. People don't use it that much, and I'm guilty of that myself. I don't use it too much, but I should honestly. So yeah, it's another nice little benefit that you get from woodcutting. Now to wrap up woodcutting, it's extremely AFK. You don't have to pay very much attention to it at all. You can do so much stuff in the background while you're woodcutting, and you will make money while paying very little attention. That's why it's number 5. It's not the most profitable, but it is something that you don't have to pay attention to and make a lot of gold still over time. All right, let's move on. I know what you're thinking. Is he doing agility? Yes, I am. Not only is agility an extremely beneficial skill for your account, but it can also make you a ton of gold. I recommend you to prioritize getting your full graceful set before you start cashing in, but you can turn marks of grace in for Amsile crystals from the same NPC that you buy your graceful gear. You turn in 10 marks of grace for 100 crystals, which are used to make stamina potions. 100 crystals sell for nearly 100k on the auction house, or I mean Grand Exchange. Sorry, I've been playing a little bit too much Classic WoW. This is a great way to make gold and level up a very important skill. The downside is you have to pay a lot of attention to what you're doing, but after a while you do sort of end up on autopilot and you're not even paying attention to it anymore. But if you want to progress your account, agility is something that you're going to have to do, and it's very beneficial towards your account. It actually makes your run energy recharge faster, and I'm not 100% sure if it makes it last longer, but when you have the full graceful set on, it makes your character way less, so you can run for longer. So I guess arguably agility does make it last longer, but yeah. And one weird little thing about it is agility is one of the very few skills, if not the only skill, that actually transfer over to free-to-play. So if you are a free-to-play player and you happen to have membership, I would go hard at leveling agility. I couldn't really think of too many tips for agility, but I guess one would definitely be summer pies, which you can buy off of the Grand Exchange, will actually boost your agility and make you fail less while you're doing rooftop courses. And so in the long run, it's really smart to use summer pies as a food because they also obviously heal you while you're doing agility. So to wrap up agility is you're not going to be making a ton of gold off of it, but it's very beneficial towards your account and you will still make some gold. Next up is thieving. Thieving is a skill that provides you with raw gold. You will make gold straight away, but not much right off the bat. As you level up your thieving, eventually you'll come across this method called blackjacking. Blackjacking is extremely click intensive, but I'd recommend you to learn how to do it and do it all the way up until level 85 for the best experience possible. Once you're 85, you stop failing arty nights, and that's the best profit you're going to make while you're thieving. So the best tips I'll give you for thieving is you want to join the clan chat, thieving host. When you join that clan chat, you can check what world everybody's on, and in that bank, somebody is splashing that arty night, and you can just continuously click on the exact same spot where that night is. You don't even have to think about it. You just click, 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 and you're making bank. So another tip that I'll give you for thieving is you're gonna wanna get the thieving set. The thieving set bonus is double GP from every single successful pickpocket that you do. This is crucial to make good money thieving. Again, I'll leave a link in the description on how to get the set. Coming in at number 2 is actually firemaking. Now obviously firemaking on its own, you don't make any gold, but what you do is you do this mini game called Wintertot. And when you're doing Wintertot, firemaking will net you tons of gold while gaining a ton of XP an hour through the mini game. I'll link a guide in the description on how to actually do it for that. Technically, burning logs is actually a faster way of gaining XP, but we're talking about making money here. The rewards that you get from Wintertot are actually based on the skills that you have already. So the higher your skills, the better gold you're going to be making, but you're going to be making good gold no matter what. And also the hits do scale, so the higher level that you are, the higher level food you're going to be needing to use. But it's worth it because you do make good gold. So for tips for firemaking, there's honestly not a ton of tips for firemaking except for prepare to feel the seeping into your bones, the coldness of Wintertot seeping into your bones. And join in the chat with the people. I mean, there's a lot of weird memes and stuff with Wintertot. I got 99 firemaking there, so I got pretty versed in the memes and whatnot, but it was a good time overall talking to everybody, and it made the experience a lot better. I'll leave a link in the description on how to actually do Wintertot, but it's a great time. You're going to make a ton of experience super quickly and a ton of gold super quickly. My account was actually originally a hardcore Iron Man, and that's what made me motivated to do that. But if your motivation is gold, then it is a very, very good reason to do Wintertot because you'll be making 400,000 gold an hour at least. And on top of that, I don't remember the exact XP rates, but they were somewhere up in the 300,000 plus range an hour, which is absolutely insane for a skill that you're making good money on. Would 10 out of 10 recommend this one. Lastly, coming in at number 1 is, you probably guessed it, Slayer. I could literally go on and on about Slayer, and I'm sure a ton of you guys saw this coming, but you can make so much gold doing Slayer. The downside is it starts off pretty slow, you know, like most skills, but as you get to a higher level, you make so much gold. You don't even realize how much gold you're making until you're loaded. I know Slayer can seem sort of discouraging with all the different tasks and whatnot and all the different gadgets people are using that you see, but the nice thing is there's a YouTube guide, and on the wiki obviously too, there are guides for every single Slayer monster. The best tips that I can give you is use the Slayer Master, Konar. Konar requires level 75, but every single task she assigns you to, the monsters have a chance of dropping a Brimstone Key. Each Brimstone Key is worth about 50 to 100k. Especially when you're a lower level doing Slayer tasks, this can make a really bad task worth a lot more gold, and it can make you a ton. Slayer is probably the most fun in the game because it takes you all over the game. However, it is a very slow skill, but it's cool because you get to see all sorts of different stuff. You get to try bossing, and it can help you. Let's say you're having trouble on Jad, it can help you with Jad, because if you get Jad as a task, you will be able to use your Slayer Helm, which gives you a higher damage output. But like I said, I could go on and on about Slayer, and if you guys wanted to, I can make an entire guide just on Slayer and its benefits and how much gold you make, but I feel like that should be saved for an entirely different video. Most of these skills, you're not going to make a ton of gold instantly, but if you stick with them, I promise, they can all be super profitable. The best tip you can take with you is stick to something, and it will pay off eventually. Thank you so much for making it this far into the video, guys. I really do appreciate it. If you did make it this far, I'm going to be doing a small giveaway for anybody that watched the whole thing. To win the giveaway, you've got to be subscribed, like the video, and comment your favorite skill to make gold with. Thank you guys so much for watching, and good luck making bank.